My name is Alex Robbins. One might say I've had a troubled life. I don't. I've learned to roll with whatever life throws at me. I live in the present and look forward to the future. That's why the deaths of my family didn't bother me for long. That's why I couldn't cry at their funerals. They were gone, and there was nothing I could do to change that. It doesn't mean I don't miss them. The fact is, I miss them with every fiber of my being. And I always will. I was a senior in high school. I was driving on my way home from a date. Madison and I were getting serious, and I was on cloud 9, higher than a kite. I remember seeing the orange glow and the flashing light still 2 miles away. "This is my home," I told the first responders. "This is my home. Where's my family? My mom? My sister? Are they all right?" I remember the stench of the smoke and the charred wood. An officer pulled me behind an ambulance and told me everything would be alright, even as the remains of my mother, father, and sister were placed in body bags. But that isn't what this is about. I try not to dwell on the past much. I'm using this as an opportunity to tell you about the devil, and how I met him. I'm 22 years old now. I was walking from a local bar to my apartment. It was 1:47 a.m. I paused underneath a street lamp a couple of miles from my apartment. I enjoy walking, especially in the wee hours of the morning. I enjoy the cool night air. I leaned up against a street lamp and lit a cigarette. I was utterly alone to my thoughts, until I heard footsteps on the sidewalk to my left. I turned and watched as a figure walked slowly out of the darkness into the halo of light of the street lamp. He was tall and gaunt. He was wearing a dark, tight-fitting coat that looked expensive. I could see he was wearing a suit and tie underneath. He had a black fedora on his head and a walking stick clutched in his pale, bony hand. His shoes clicked sharply against the sidewalk. His face was pale and sharp, almost as if his features were chiseled out of a marble. His eyes were crystal clear blue. He looked to be fairly old, but I couldn't guess how old. 60, 65 maybe. I was sort of creeped out, but he looked harmless enough. Instead of walking past me as I expected, he took position right next to me. We stood there for a few minutes in silence. Just as I began to walk away and make my way home, he spoke. His voice was deep, baritone and clear. He enunciated his words sharply and precisely. "I was sorry to hear about your family." What? I'd never seen this man before in my life. I would have remembered it. I turned to face the man, and we locked eyes. "What was it?" Before I could finish, he lunged at me and placed his hands on either side of my head. His hands were like ice, and his grip was incredibly strong. I couldn't pull my eyes from his penetrating stare. Suddenly, it was as if I left my body and was pulled into his eyes. I rushed past his glacier blue irises and into the utter blackness of his pupils. Then I was in my car. I was driving. I looked up at the stars, the moon. I felt euphoric. Something about it was familiar, chillingly so. I couldn't figure out what it was until I saw an orange glow just on the other side of a hill. Next I saw the flashing lights. Oh God, no, please. It couldn't be. I was reliving that night. This had to be a dream. No. Please, someone wake me up. I saw the flames that roared where my house once stood. I saw the sheriff waving for me to stop. I felt his arms wrap around me as I tried, so desperately, to run into the house. I had to save my family. "This is my home," I told them. "This is my home. Where is my sister? My mom? My family? Are they all right?" Tears streamed down my face. I sank to my knees. After what seemed like an eternity, the flames finally began to die down. Suddenly, there was an officer. He knelt down at my side. "Come with me, son. It'll be all right." I saw 3 body bags being prepared for their purpose. And then it was over. I was back staring at those man's strange, crystalline eyes. "What?" was all I managed to say. I was speechless. stunned by the vision I had just suffered, horrified by the nightmare I had just relived. "I believe it will be a pleasure knowing you, Mr. Robbins," the pale man said. With that, he released me and walked off into the cold night. It's been 4.5 weeks since that encounter. I've had the same nightmare, the one the pale man gave to me, every night since then. It's always the same. I always wake up screaming in cold sweat. Every time when I wake up, I hear that man's voice. He always says something different. This morning he told me, "I'm enjoying this, Mr. Robbins." I'm convinced it is the devil. I'm convinced he, for some inexplicable reason, has chosen me to be tortured, to be given a taste of hell before my death. I don't know why. If you see a pale man late at night, dressed in black, run. If you don't, I'll bring hell onto earth to you.